Well, hello there, and this is Auntie, and I am here with another exclusive interview talking all things 90 Day Fiance. If this is your first time being here, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And to all of my new subscribers, everybody needs a sweet old auntie, right? Having one, it just would be nice. Cause everybody needs a sweet old auntie, right? So welcome to Auntie's Advice. Thank you so much for joining the family. And to all of my nieces and nephews who have been here with your auntie for the long haul, thank you so much for your continued support of this family. And thank you so much for just being wonderful nieces and nephews. Tonight is the interview that y'all know that I have been dying to have. Okay. I believe firmly, okay, that there are three sides to every story: his side, her side, and Natalie's side. Week after week, we have, by way of Soap Dirt and other social media platforms, heard stories, just horrible stories about our girl Natalie. There have been different things that I have reported on, as it relates to Natalie, and I had to sit back for a minute as the season has begun to wrap up. There were some things that your auntie had some questions about. Like, why would someone, okay, who has been a friend to someone all of a sudden start spreading all their tea? Why is it that when you get your new man or your new beau or your new husband, you would throw your girlfriend to the curb? Why is it that Natalie is so adamant about telling Ashley about Jay and his possible cheating? Why the fuck did Natalie come over to the house and knock on the door, adamant, okay, adamant about speaking to Ashley? And why was Natalie cut out of the wedding? Now, the other two girls, they made faces. They did what they did with the whoop whoop and the boop boop boop. But there was not the same response as it was to Natalie. According to different social media platforms, Natalie has basically tried to spread her tea about, different things that has happened to Ashley. And your auntie was the main one who was dragging her, the main one. But tonight, I am going to find out, as I told y'all that I would, what is the true story, or what is Natalie's side of the story. Natalie has not had the opportunity to tell her side of the story, and I have been extremely interested, as many of you all have. Nobody does something for no reason at all. There has got to be a reason why Natalie has done what she's done. And so I'm going to introduce Natalie to you for the very first time on my YouTube channel. Natalie. Natalie?
Hello.
Hi,
Hello, how are you?
Natalie. I am fine. I want to start this interview off, first of all, with an apology. I read your ass for filth. And I did it based on the information that was presented to us, the viewers of TLC, to all of us who read social media platforms. And I really did not understand your motive. I felt like you were the jealous friend, you were the backstabbing friend, you were, that's just how it appeared on the camera. But I am adult enough and woman enough to, first of all, say I apologize. And secondly, I understand that there are more sides to a story, and there has never been anyone in the 90-Day Fiance history that I have been more interested in finding out what their story is all about. So I'm hoping, Natalie, that you accept my apology, my sincerest apologies, for the way that I dragged your ass, but I dragged your ass based on the information that I was.
I definitely do accept your apology, and I know that it takes a lot for someone to reach out to someone and apologize. First of all, apologies aren't always easy, and especially to someone that you don't know. Unfortunately, um, my name has come up about a lot of things, and a lot of negative things have been said about me. So I can understand where you were coming from, not knowing anything. So I am acceptive of your apology. I appreciate it, and I am ready to tell you my side.
Okay, no, oh, Natalie, you do not know how much I have been looking for you. I have been Instagramming, DMing, like I have just about damn near been stalking Natalie's ass. Okay, because
Well, here I am. It works. So
it
I guess
worked.
that your stalking skills are on point.
Okay. I better not have a boyfriend. He better not ever do me wrong. Okay, you said my stalking skills on point. Thank you, Natalie. So anyway, Natalie, tell me a little bit about Natalie, as much as you want us to know about Natalie, the one who rides on the road away on the scooter. Okay.
So I try to be a little eco-friendly when I'm driving around town. So scooters are great for gas mileage. So that's really what it comes down to. I like to take it out when it's nice and warm out, drive around the town, have a great time. It's nice. It's easy. It's fun. So first and foremost, I enjoy riding my scooter. Secondly, I am a mother to a 6-year-old son and also a stepmother. And I have an amazing, well, soon to be stepmother, I should say. I have an amazing fiance, and we have a great relationship aside from all this nonsense that's been going on in the media and from the television show. I have a very supportive man next to me. He's here right now. He can say hi.
Hi, fiance.
Hi.
This is
Hi.
Christian, everyone.
Hey, Christian.
How's it going?
It's going fantastic. Thank you so much for.
So I am, sorry about that. I am truly blessed to have him, and I have a supportive friends and family and everyone. So I just am over here living my best life.
She's living her best life. She ain't got time to funk with you. Okay. She's living her best life. Did y'all hear that?
Okay.
Okay, so Natalie, let's why did you agree to do this interview with your auntie? Even though you'd come out here and you said you didn't like what I said, you was mad with me, I was mad with you. Why are you now agreeing to do this interview with me?
I have probably had requests to do interview after interview. I've had magazine companies, tabloids, everyone in my inbox, some people in my email accounts, anywhere and everywhere on social media trying to talk to me. And honestly, like, I have a lot more things going on with my life than to focus on this kind of stuff. So I haven't really wanted to, but it really spoke volumes to me when you went on your show and you completely bashed me and said a lot of nasty and mean things about me. And it really set, it didn't sit well. But then when you reached out and you really wanted to do this interview, and I thought of it as an opportunity for you to accept your apology and let people know that it's okay to like make mistakes and forgive people for them whenever sometimes you don't always know the whole truth of every story. So the only reason I am doing this interview with you is because I appreciate you being true to who you are and being a real woman and apologizing to me and putting it out there for me to be able to tell my side of things.
Thank you so much, Natalie. I so appreciate that. I didn't know everybody was hunting you down. I figured they probably were because it was so many things that were said about you, and we all had such a negative a view of you. And I want to make sure that I make this very clear. Natalie and I have not pre-recorded this. We have not talked about this. I don't know what Natalie is going to say. Is that correct, Natalie?
That is absolutely correct.
Absolutely correct, because your auntie don't play that. Okay. We have not. So everything that you're going to be hearing from Natalie today is going to be the first time that I have heard it, and it will be the first time that you have heard it. You heard it here first, God damn it. Okay. You didn't hear it nowhere else. You heard it here first. So Natalie, let's start, because I don't want to be out here for a long time. And I want you to be able to get, whatever you need to get off your chest. So when we were first introduced to you, Natalie, we were introduced to you as the girlfriend of Ashley, who had known Ashley for years. Can you give us some background information about your relationship with Ashley?
Yeah, Ashley and I have been more like sisters for a lot of years. We went to school together, so we grew up together, but then we kind of went our separate ways when we were a little bit younger in our early 20s. But after that, after she had her daughter, a little shortly after that, when I had my son, we got really close, and it was to the point where Ashley doesn't have much family in this area, and she doesn't have family that she really associates with at all. So it was to the point where every single holiday meal, every single anything that you can think of, we were together. So my family kind of like brought her in and adopted her as another daughter, and her kids as grandchildren. Like my parents, my siblings, my other sisters, we all like consider them family. So it was not just like, oh, that's my best friend. No, it was more than that. We were very close. We did everything together prior to Jay coming into the picture.
And for how many years?
We've been friends for 17 years, and we've been really close for 13.
17 years?
Yes. A long time.
No wonder you knocking on the damn door like the police. Oh my God, no wonder. Natalie, no, seriously, no. Oh my God. Okay, all right, I got to calm the hell down. So you've been knowing this girl for 17 years. Y'all have been like sisters. Every meal, you said that she didn't have a lot of family here. So basically you all adopted her, or your parents adopted her, and she just was like a sister to you. And so that's why you all went.
Exactly.
And that's why you all went to Jamaica together for a wedding.
Yes. We went to Jamaica together in November of 2016, and we went for actually like my best friend. We went for her and her husband's wedding.
So they did a destination wedding.
They did a destination wedding, and it was about 40 to 50 people, and we all went. Like a bunch of us from high school went, and family and friends from this area.
Oh, okay. And so is this the first time that Natalie met, that Ashley met Jay?
That was not the first time that she met Jay, no.
I'm sorry, what?
That was not when she met Jay.
Oh, so what was the trip? When was the trip that she met Jay on? Was that before that wedding or after that wedding?
That was after.
Okay.
So they did meet just shortly after that. We traveled back to Jamaica about 6 weeks after that wedding. And that's when they hung out and spent time for the first time.
Now, is this before or after he reached out to her on on Facebook? Because according to their story, she went over to Jamaica for a friend's wedding. She met Jay. Jay reached out to her on the Facebook page, and then that's when she went back to Jamaica. Like, how does all of that work?
So she, I know, all I know for certain is I hadn't met Jay in Jamaica, but I had talked to him on social media prior to seeing him the second time around on our second trip to Jamaica.
Okay.
So I didn't hear anything about Jay until like we were on the phone talking to him one day on social media and then talking to him on the phone. So that was the first interaction that I ever had with him.
Okay, but
so that's all I can speak of. What I did when I met him, when I first heard about him, was then.
But you said that you went to Jamaica, you met him, but did you go back to Jamaica several times after that? After you had met him?
Yes. So Ashley and I went back to Jamaica pretty frequently after she had met him and she was spending time. And we made quite a few trips to Jamaica.
Did you like him at the beginning, Natalie?
I did like him. Yes. I wouldn't say that we were like great friends or anything like that, but we were definitely had a friendly relationship. And what I mean by that is like I was able to talk to him, have fun with him. Like it was basically like we would go on vacation, and he was a great time to be on vacation with, if that makes sense. He was a fun person to be around when you're on vacation. So that's all I ever thought of it.
And so then after a while, I guess Ashley, because it's 2018 now, so this is about 2 years. So then after, going over this several times, Ashley decided that she was going to move this relationship into more than just friends and stuff like that.
Right. So when they got engaged, I was actually there, and that's when things started moving forward. And it was almost like around that point when I saw a different side of him, and I was still supportive. Like I've always been supportive of their relationship. When he was in Jamaica, I really was, going there with her, being a supportive person, and really helping her with her kids here at home while she was, so she was able to continue her relationship with him while she was like, when she wasn't here, I was helping her as much as I could. So like, it's really unfortunate that people are saying a lot of negative things about me being unsupportive, because that's not who I ever was.
Okay. Okay. And your family, according to you, never was unsupportive of her.
Correct. We all had our apprehensions and we all were concerned, but not unsupportive.
So now let me ask you a question. So I'm just going to go through the season of so far what we've seen. So when you sat down at the table with her, and she said that even if Jesus came down him damn self, sat in her lap, licked her on her face, and told her that Jay was cheating on her, that it wouldn't matter to her. When did that Ashley appear? Because I could tell from your face that you were shocked that she said it. You were sitting at the table and making allegations that allegedly Jay had cheated on her, or that you had heard about this. Can you give us a little bit of background about why? When did you start seeing this side of Ashley?
Honestly, I think that was the first time that I saw her completely like unsure of anything. I think that was the first moment I really like it hit home to me that this is like really serious, that she is completely oblivious to the whole world around her. And she was really saying anything that she could to just get me to shut up and stop talking about it. That's honestly in that moment when I was completely taken back by what she said. I would say it had to have been the moment that I was like, okay, well, can you come back now? Actually, I have no idea where you are. What happened?
Do you think that it was a lights, camera, action, or do you think that she just was adamant about marrying him or doing the show?
I think that she was. I think that she was desperate to be in love, and I think that she wanted it so badly that she didn't really care anymore, and she didn't want, like, she was so far involved in him and in the process, and really I think that he had mind fucked her so much at that point that, like, she really was, like, not aware of what she was actually doing. So in that moment, she really completely took me off guard, because I'm like, I'm still stopped thinking about it, like trying to relive that moment right now. I'm still stopped, like, what could I have done differently to not, to, like, even, I still was trying to be supportive at that point. So it's like still kind of conflicting to me, because I'm not sure at what point in time I lost her completely. But I feel like, to answer your question, it was probably then.
Because you were around when she was engaged to the other previous boyfriends, correct? Fiancés.
Yeah, I was.
And was she like that with the other
I
fiancés?
She's always run away from her problems. It's almost one of those things where I just kind of thought that this was going to pass. I thought that she was going to wake up one day and, like, be back to herself and realize, like, what she was doing, she might want to think about a little bit harder. But she's always just ran from her problems.
So
So,
what do
like,
you mean
with her
run?
saying that to me,
Because you said that several times. What do you mean? Define runaway. Give us an example of runaway. So you're saying like, define that for me.
so, for example, I would say anytime anyone confronted her with something, she'd just drop them. Dropped it like it was hot. She didn't even care. She did that to another one of our friends, our close friends that we grew up with, didn't agree with her traveling to Jamaica so often. And, like, you're a single mom, but you're traveling a lot to see this guy. And, like, she didn't agree with that. And she spoke her opinion about it to her. And she literally just cut her off from her life. Like it was nothing. She just runs away. Anytime there's conflict or a problem, she just runs away. Just drops in, doesn't even think about it again.
And you said that she doesn't have a lot of family and she's not close to her family. Could that possibly be one of the reasons why she may not be close to her family? Did something happen in the family? I don't need you to disclose it, but could it possibly be her upbringing?
I think it's a lot of, like, the traumatic events that she's been through in her life, and the things that she's experienced, I think definitely play a fact in it. But I definitely feel as though a lot of the people that she's cut off from her life are good people. So I'm not really sure what she is running from. Like, I've been trying to get her to stop running for a long time, and to, like, running away and just trying to start a new life or do this or do that isn't going to solve the problems. They're still going to be there in some shape or form.
That's the truth. That's the truth, Natalie. God damn it, if that ain't the truth. Okay. So you said that one of the girlfriends, she cut one of the girlfriends off because she was going over to Jamaica so much. Then I heard you say that I was keeping the kids so that she could go to Jamaica. How often was she going to Jamaica?
Every few weeks.
For 2 years, Natalie?
I mean, it was pretty much the entire year of 2017.
Are you
She was traveling pretty frequently.
Is it because of trust issues? Did you? Okay. All right. So you said that she's a single mom. We all know that. She's traveling over to Jamaica. Your girlfriend said something to her about, the multiple trips going over there. She cut her ass off. You said something about the cheating and she cut your ass off. Where did you, if you can tell me, or get as close as you can, damn it. Okay, let's just keep it all the way 100. When did you find out that he was a cheater, and how did you find that out?
So we were in Jamaica last summer, and
2017.
It was before. I think this is something that you wanted to touch on. So everyone's been asking about a wedding in Jamaica. Why were you there? What are these pictures about? Well, there in fact was not a wedding in Jamaica, but there was, like, a commitment ceremony. So it was basically his family, his friends, and then I myself was there, and Ashley's mother was there, and one other person, and that's it. From from the United States, no one else was there.
So those are the pictures that we've
So
been seeing on Reddit and on other social media platforms. Of that was a commitment ceremony.
yes, that was a commitment ceremony. And in fact, it was not legally any kind of binding ceremony. It was nothing like that. It was solely like a commitment ceremony between them with family and friends.
So why do they need a commitment ceremony? What was that about?
I believe the original reason was because they wanted his family and friends to be able to be a part of their wedding, and they knew that that couldn't be possible when he came to the States.
But his mother is here. Was his mother in that picture?
Yeah, his mother was in Jamaica for that.
So the mother flew from the United States to Jamaica to be there for the commitment ceremony.
I'm not sure if she was in Jamaica or in the United States at the time. She travels back and forth quite frequently.
Oh, okay. So they just got a mother.
From my understanding.
I mean, they got like an easy pass. You know, when you on the highway and you go through the tolls and you use the damn easy pass, they just got
I got myself one. I have an easy pass.
I mean, goddamn, they just, go back and forth there. Okay. So basically, so you see, you went over there for the commitment ceremony. Is that when someone told you that allegedly he was cheating on her?
Yes. So the night before that commitment ceremony is when all hell broke loose.
Okay, girl, tell us.
So
tell us about the tea. Give us the tea, Natalie. Give it to us, Natalie. Hey.
So that was the point where Jay and I got into it for the first time, and that's when I flat out asked him, like, what did he do? And I was like, this is what I heard. This is what I was told. I was told that you're with other women. A couple of days before we got here to Jamaica, and I was told that this is what you were doing. So can you please explain this to me? And he denied it up and down. Every single thing up and down. We got into, it was literally a fight. It wasn't a fist fight, but it was damn near close to one. But
and this was the night before the commitment ceremony.
That was the night before the commitment ceremony. So the next day, when that was all supposed to happen, it was honestly one of those things where I didn't know if she was even gonna put on her dress or we were gonna do this. I didn't even have the slightest idea because she was so torn and so back and forth that she was like, at the point she at one point in time, I remember her saying to me, at least this shit's not real. So, I mean, that's how we went into that. And it was one of those things where at that time, I still was trying to be supportive. I still stood up and gave a toast to them. And I can assure you that in that toast, I said to him, I will be there to be able to help you. If you have an issue with cheating or this, that, or the third, then tell somebody that you need help because you're not able to, whatever the case may be. Whatever it is that you got going on, you just need to come clean about it, and that's it. Or else it's a wrap. That's basically what I said to him.
So you said this at the during the toast.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
You said during the toast you told him that you would help him, but you had a separate conversation with him, telling him that you would help him with this cheating. How the hell are you going to help him? He's a Jamaican man. He lives over there in Jamaica. He was away from her. So even though your best intention, Natalie, was to try to be there for Ashley, but you said, but you do realize now that you can't help Ashley.
All right, and so in that moment, I just wanted to tell you in that moment what I was thinking and what was going on.
No, I understand that.
So I really just wanted to protect her. Like we're talking about my best friend. I didn't want anything to happen to her. I wanted the best for her. I wanted her to be happy. I ultimately wanted the happily ever after for her. And if that's what she wanted, I wanted to be happy for her and with her. But it was like, one of those things where I will do anything I can to help you if that's what you need, type of thing. It wasn't like forceful. It wasn't anything. It was just simply, this is my best friend. I care about her. I have love for her. I love her kids to death. I want the best for them and everything. So if you can do that, then do that. If not, then bye.
But
Basically.
Natalie, let me ask you
and I
something.
just laid it out.
Are you the only one that confronted him about the cheating, or were there other people who knew about the cheating and confronted her?
I mean, there's not really, there was only me there that was her friend. There wasn't any other friends involved.
Mm-hmm.
There hadn't been any really communication between her or anyone else about it. So like her mom was there and she had her sense and say, but nothing really. It was just me, and his family was like, had his back, of course. They were just trying to, it was almost like you could tell in that moment, like their family is going to say and do anything to get this man his green card.
Yeah, because you mentioned that, they're taught this from the time that they're young to get there. But you didn't mean that about all Jamaicans. You just meant that about him.
I just meant that solely like that's a comment that he has said before.
Oh, he said that.
Has more opportunity here. There's more for him to do here. He can come here and do what he needs to do to be able to go home and start a business at home. And the opportunity is here in America. So like that is solely for him. Whether I definitely want to make it clear that I do not think that every single Jamaican thinks like that, and that their intent is to get out of their country and come here. That is not what I think. Jamaica is beautiful. It is an amazing place to vacation, to visit, to live. It's beautiful there. And I don't know why people would want to leave there, but I can understand why he said that to me directly, like in conversation before. So that's why I felt like that.
So let me ask you something. When you found out about the cheating allegation, was this from a reliable source? Was this from someone in Jamaica who actually saw Jay cheating? Did you talk to an ex-girlfriend? Like, help me understand that part about the cheating, because you were adamant about it. You were very confident in what you were saying. So was this a past relationship, a girlfriend, a sister, a cousin, a family member? Like, who told you about the cheating?
A mutual friend.
Who?
A mutual friend. Between Jay and I, someone that was mutually our friend. That is from Jamaica.
So you had a good, reliable ass source. You had a good source. And so did this person ever confront him, or they wanted to stay anonymous?
Oh no, they are completely out of it.
Wow. So how long had you kept the secret before you told her? Or before you confronted him?
A couple minutes. It was a couple hours, actually.
You said, I'm confronting this mofo right now.
Right. Kristen's laughing.
Is that Ashley because you suspected fraud, or no, let me not use that word. Is that because you suspected that this relationship wasn't as genuine as it appeared to be?
It was because there had been times prior to this even happening that Ashley caught him in lies. So the speculation was already there, and it was already on our mind.
So why do you think that she chose to overlook his cheating but not the other two guys cheating?
I really can't say on that. I don't know.
Okay. Now, she indicated on the show that she had never been with a black man, or African American man before, prior to Jay. Is that true, to your knowledge?
No.
I didn't think so. I was like, Come on. You want to sit up here and pretend? Come on. Nelly, how many? Because I know you down with the swirl. Auntie down with the swirl too. But how many African American men can you remember that she was with prior to Jay?
I can only remember one Jamaican man that she was with prior to Jay.
Oh, so she just liked the Jamaicans, huh?
But I can't recall ever a African American man from the States that she was ever with before.
No, there was a picture of a gentleman, a Caucasian gentleman, who was over in Jamaica with you all. And I don't know why. I remember seeing, I believe I saw a picture like that. And someone has somewhere in the caption that this particular guy, which she was dating when she went to Jamaica. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you remember seeing a post
Yes,
like that?
I do remember that. That person was not in Jamaica with us, but she, um, whether or not they were together or not, I can't really say fully, but I can tell you he dropped her off and picked her up at the airport from her trip to Jamaica when we went for that wedding.
Oh, was he a Uber or
So
Lyft
I guess he's
driver?
like an ex-boyfriend, or maybe an Uber or Lyft driver. I'm not sure. I mean, some of these Uber and Lyft drivers.
Okay, I'm laughing too, Nelly. Okay. Yeah, he was the Uber driver. He was driving Lyft. He had his little light up in the front of the car. So basically, so again, like you said, the night before this commitment ceremony, you confronted him. You all had, an altercation that almost led to a knockout, drag out fight. And she made the statement, at least this is not real.
Right.
Okay. So did she do any investigation as far as you know after this commitment ceremony and she jumped over the broom and she, ate a couple of plantains? Did she at any point try to do any research on him or did she just tuck it down in her soul like we do sometimes as women? We know the truth, but we just tuck it.
I think that she came back home and kind of thought about doing her own thing for a little. I can't really say for sure that she did or didn't do her own thing, but I think she did. And after that, it's kind of one of those things where she knew, but she didn't want to know. So it wasn't really talked about. It was constant, like she was on the phone constantly with him 24/7, and it was like a trust issue thing.
So, Nellie, it came across to all of us, as you heard from my review that I did on you before. It came across. I don't know whether or not it was through editing or not editing. I'm going to allow you to do that. You were bitter, that you were mad, and that you were possibly jealous. How can you convince us or talk to us about this just not being the case? Because that's the way it came off, as if you were bitter, mad, and jealous.
I mean, I just really want to put it out there that I am in an amazing relationship with three beautiful blessings of children, and we are planning our dream wedding right now. We have everything going for us. We have the family support, our friends support, and this man that's sitting beside me is honestly the best thing that has ever happened to me and to my entire family. I sometimes think that my family loves him more than they love me. He's just so wonderful, and there is no way in hell that I would want to deal with or tolerate anything that she has going on over there across town. Not even for 10 seconds would I trade what I have with her. Not for, there's nothing that could make me be envious of what she has going on over there.
And how long
No
have you
way.
been with Christian?
Christian and I have been together for a year, and we actually got engaged in June,
Congratulations
the
to
beginning of
both of you
June.
all. So let me go back onto the episode again. So now we see after you said something to her about it, she talked about Jesus sitting down in her lap, and then we see Jay at a party at the house. We see you looking at him across the room, eager to get over there and read that ass. Why did you choose that moment to say something to Jay if you all had already had a confrontation in Jamaica? Why did you why did you choose to do that?
I mean, I actually had that welcome party at my house for him.
Oh, that was your
So that,
house.
yeah.
Oh,
So that was the welcome party I put together for him.
are you serious, Natalie?
100%. Couldn't be more serious.
So
Couldn't
what
be more real with you right now.
it came off, it came off to me. I don't know about everybody else because I can't see the comments, but it came off to me that you were over there at a friend, that it was at a friend's house. It never said it was Natalie's house. It was just we going over to
Yep.
a friend's house. What?
Yeah, I tried to put together that whole welcome party, and
And you had the
really,
welcome party because you wanted
it,
him, you wanted to show Ashley and Jay that despite the fact that you believed that he was a cheater, you still wanted to celebrate them and be supportive of the relationship.
yeah, because that was my best friend. That's what best friends do. Whether or not you agree with them, you still are there and you're still supportive.
That's true. That's true. That is so true. Because if it was my best friend, even though I would have to bite my tongue and have blood coming out of my mouth, I would still try to support as much as I could. But I had no idea that that was your house. So why did you use that opportunity? You were giving him a welcome home party. Why did you use that day to confront Jay again? Is it because you felt pressure to do it, or was it scripted? What happened with that?
No, I just really wanted to seize the moment and try and have a real confrontation, or not even confrontation. I wanted to have a communication. Like, I wanted to communicate to him and let him know, like, here I am. This is what I'm doing. I'm trying to like open my house to you and have this event here for you to get to know everyone and meet some people and have some other like lifelines here in the States and let you know we're welcoming. But I want to clear the air. That's the thing. And that's definitely not what happened. So,
Yeah, it's not. And you know what the thing about it, I think that you mentioned or someone else mentioned that he did not deny cheating. He just didn't answer the question.
right. It's kind of just a blow up from that point. So,
Is that when
uh,
you got put out the wedding? That day or the next day?
it was kind of one of those things where I received a message from her just saying, like, you're out, you're done, all these things. And it was a lot of emotions and feelings and, um, to even rewatch it and relive it and re-feel those emotions or even talk about them right now, it's very hard. I mean, we're talking about someone I was really close with for a very long time, my entire adult life. And now I'm like, okay, like now what? Like, how do I still be a good friend and be a good person and stay true to who I am and be a good aunt to her kids still, but from this distance because it's being forced. It was like one of those things that is very difficult to have dealt with
So
and
let me
still is.
so there were allegations out there on some of the blog sites that you decided to go to the tabloids to disclose some of her information, and I think that that's when I like really went off. Can you tell us if that's the truth? Is that the truth that you went to the
I
tabloids to disclose her information?
I have never once said anything negative about her to anyone on social media, to anyone in a tabloid, to any magazine company, to anything. And I can assure you that if I sold, as I'm being accused of, an article to anyone, I wouldn't still have my ass in Pennsylvania right now. Me and my family would be somewhere great, living the life in a warm destination with this cold ass weather we have. But I can assure you that those are the most sickening, Just awful accusations that you can imagine. Like the threats that I had coming in. At one point, she posted my phone number, and I had messages and calls and like death threats. It was just awful. It was an awful experience for her to go so low, to become, in her eyes, I guess, popular, or in the tabloids, or like her fame or whatever she's trying to do. To use me as a stepping stone to get there is
So, Natalie,
to lie and put her own stories out there. Which she clear as day even said it before. She clear as day said, I wanted to get ahead of it because I heard she was going to do this. Well, like, I'm not sure where in her little head that she heard that, but that is
Natalie,
not.
you mean to tell me that you never, ever went to the tabloids or anybody about Ashley?
Never once.
So the story that came out
Yeah.
about the alleged boop boop boop, we won't say what that is because I don't need no strike on my damn channel. But the stories that came out about the boop 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 and the man that did the boop boop boop, you did not disclose that information or sell that story to a tabloid, Natalie?
Never. I did not do that. I also never disclosed any story about any illnesses or past medical things that she's had to endure. I've never told anyone anything about her. Nothing about her past did I disclose to anyone, nor would I. It actually is funny because you can ask Christian himself. He didn't even know that had happened until after it was all over social media. If I was going to disclose a story to the tabloids, don't you think my own fiance would know about it?
Christian, you want to expound, Christian?
What's that?
I said, would you like to expound on that? So you know for certain, and I'm not doubting. I'm just asking the question because these are questions that people gonna want to know. So you mean to tell me that that was a fabricated story?
Yeah, I had no idea about anything like that.
What was her purpose for fabricating that story? To drag your ass down?
Yeah, I think that it goes along with everything else that she put out about herself. She wanted the attention. She saw other people getting more attention than her. She knew that she needed to
keep
do
your phone up,
something
keep your mouth
to
on
get
the phone.
herself out there and get.
Keep your phone, your mouth on the phone and say that one more time because you're going in and out. You see, she saw other people being more popular than her. Is that what you said, Natalie?
Yeah, I think that she just saw people liking others more than her, and I think that she really wanted people to, like, what she's been through is very traumatic, and obviously, like, everyone has skeletons in their past and stuff like that, but that's not one of them. This is something that happened to her that is it's awful.
That was
so
awful.
For anyone to even think that would be something I would sell or talk to any tabloid about, it's kind of absurd to me because that's not something that would hurt her by any means. The only thing that's going to do is have more support.
But it
and
hurt
I agree
you,
that
though.
she needs all the support. The things that she endured are awful, and the support that she's getting is great. But the way she went about it to make it seem like I put out the information when she in fact leaked it herself is bullshit.
So did they just want to drag your ass because they were that mad? They're that mad that they would allegedly embellish a story like that and drag your ass all through social media, Natalie?
I know. I mean, I would really like to know if I'm the one that did that. Where can anyone find the article? I mean, if I did any of these things, where is the proof? Because there isn't any. There's no proof because it never happened. I never did it. Like, the only proof is the only thing that anyone can find and the only thing anyone can see is what she is saying her words and her stories that she put out there herself. It was never once anything that I did. I haven't seen anything, but I obviously am not going to look either because I know for 100% certain that I didn't do it. So I have more important things to do with my life than that. So
And you know what? You know what I had. I want to say that I believe you, and let me tell you why. And I'm going to tell my nieces and nephews why I believe what she's saying. Because when this story came out, and before I decided to do this interview, and before all of that, I reached out to Natalie. I couldn't get Natalie's ass. But somebody else reached out to your auntie in my DMs in support of Natalie and was like, Auntie, things are not the way that they appear. And that was the first time. Well, no, that wasn't the first time, but that was the first time that I had gotten a receipt from anyone or anyone had reached out to me about you. You know, for some reason, there's a couple of us, Natalie, that everybody reaches out to every damn season. Okay. And someone after that article came out, someone reached out to me on your behalf and was like, things are not what you think they are. You know, and so I was like, no, hell no. No, she ain't gonna be doing that. You know, that's dirty, you know, because for me, I'm getting all hyped up because I'm a mom. And so I'm looking at it
right.
from a mother's perspective. Number two, I'm looking at it because I'm a woman. And so I'm looking at it from a woman's perspective. Number three, I know other women who have been affected by that. So it pulled at my heartstrings and made me believe, you know, because sometimes we're gullible, not gullible, but sometimes we believe what we read. And it doesn't necessarily mean that it's true. And so that's why I want to really believe what you're saying, because I noticed you never came out and defended yourself. You never came out and defended yourself. I waited for you based on the person that was going back and forth with me. This is somebody that knows you. And I don't even know if you know that this person has been reaching out to me, but they reached out to me on your behalf. But I waited for you to go on social media. I waited for you to do a tabloid. I waited for you to go to John Yates or one of the other Instagrammers, and you never did. And I was like, you know, there are some things and sometimes in life where the best defense is silence. And Natalie, when I saw you go silent and not say anything, I said, it's something messed up in the buttermilk. There is something suspicious about these alleged allegations that Natalie did this, because why didn't she defend herself? But your best defense was your silence. And then I became very curious about you. I wanted to know your story. And then I felt like an asshole because I had gotten out there reacting to a story that was so salacious that, you know, I'm out there, without sitting back and processing things like I usually try to do. And most of the time, when I don't process the information, I make mistakes. Like you said, we all are human and we make mistakes. And I felt like at that moment, I made a mistake. There's something else to this story. And so I appreciate you because I know you haven't talked to any tabloids. You haven't talked to any bloggers. You haven't talked to any Instagram. You haven't talked to anybody but me. This is the first time I've heard you talk outside of.
You got that right.
Yeah. And so, you know, I'm sorry.
I mean, can I know that you're the one asking questions, but can I ask you a real question real quick?
Hell yeah.
So your best friend, you know everything about them, their secrets. I mean, we're all humans. We tell each other lots of things, especially the people that are close to us. If I was going to put an article about anything out there, it sure as hell wouldn't have been about something so close to like her that she's been through. It's not going to be something that she's endured. It's going to be some real dirt. It's going to be something that people are going to be like, okay, but like it's definitely never going to be something that would ever have to do with her past, in the sense of what she endured and what she went through. It would never have anything to do with that. And I want to ask you, don't you feel the same? If you were trying to get back at someone or you were hating on somebody, wouldn't you have a lot more things to talk about your best friend than something so horrific?
You damn Skippy.
That's where I'm at.
Okay, you damn. I would have known. I know all the secrets, all the skeletons in the closet, the ones buried and some more stuff. You damn right, Natalie. But that's what I'm saying. I sat back and I watched you. I watched you, Natalie. And I was like, Natalie ain't do this. This isn't who Natalie. And sometimes like when you showed up at the door and you banged on the door like that. And I was like, Natalie's so desperate to get her girlfriend back. She's desperate enough to get up, get on her infamous scooter, scoot her ass over there, bang on that door and stand out and say, I don't care if I'm embarrassed. I don't care who sees me. I don't care if Ashley gets mad. I'm making one last ditch effort to save my friend. That's what I saw. That's what I saw on Sunday. Is that what it really is, Natalie?
Yes, that is exactly what I was trying to do. I mean, it's one of those things where, you sit back and you think about things and you think about what's happening and you think about what's next. You have to always, think about in the future what can happen. And it's one of those things where all these terrible things were coming out about me doing this and doing that. And I'm like, you know what? It's going to take one person. I just need one person to really sit back and think about this and see that that is not the kind of person I am. That is not the morals that I have. That is not the way I want my children to be raised. That is not what I would want to show anyone is acceptable. And I stayed true to myself and just like was hoping and praying that eventually someone would realize that like those in fact are the most hurtful accusations that anyone could endure. To go through something like this and to go through a situation with a friend that I am going through, and it being in the spotlight, and it's all over social media, it's in all of these tabloids, magazines, all these things. It was hard enough, but I was like, you know what? Like, there's no reason I need to defend myself over something I didn't do, and I'm just gonna sit back and I'm gonna wait for the day that someone realizes, like, you know what? That girl did not do those things. Natalie did not do those things, and that's another reason why I really appreciate you reaching out to me and letting me tell my side and apologizing for the hurtful things you said, because there's many people that have said a lot of hurtful things.
I really do apologize because I'm telling you right now, I believed it until somebody reached out on your behalf. You'll never know who it is unless they tell you, I guess. And I sat back and I looked at it from a different perspective. And from me looking at it from a different perspective and seeing Jay, I think that seeing Jay on Instagram every fucking day. He's on Instagram. He's so beautiful. He's this, he's that. He's out there, singing and dancing and acting like, and I'm like, he really wants attention. And he's
Well, he's just a little bit.
okay.
100%. That's verifiable.
Christian, you done came from out of nowhere and said he just a little.
That's all I had to say.
I started seeing him. I started watching her. And then she would go through Instagrammers to get her story out. Tell your own damn story. Why are you going through somebody? Tell your story. You understand what I'm saying? I just started watching everything. And I went on his Instagram one day and I was like, you are just starving for attention.
Yeah, it's
Just
really,
starving for
and
attention.
I wouldn't have been able to get through this without Christian beside me and supporting me and having my back and, picking me up whenever people were sending nasty messages to me and calling me all types of names and making, just the worst things. He was there every single second of the day to tell me how important I am, tell me how beautiful I am, to
Oh,
remind me of what we have together and that like we're all each other we need. We are all that we need for ourselves, for our families, for our kids. And that was what helped me through all of this, his support. So, that is a true blessing.
that is a blessing because I know I was very hard on you. And I know how I can be. I know how my mouth can be. And I know I was hard on you. But I'm telling you right now, your best defense was your silence. And that is what, and I'm glad that I am being used as a tool, regardless of what people say in the comment section, regardless of how people feel. I am glad that I am being used as a tool for redemption for you. If you find just a little bit of redemption, if you understand what I'm saying, I'm glad that I'm being used as that tool to help you to heal and to get your story out there because I was like, I'm a hunt her ass down until I talk to her and give her a chance to tell her story. It was important for me because I feel like it's not the right of anyone else. And I said this a couple of reviews ago. It's not anybody's right to tell your story. You alone get to tell your story. She's told her story. Jay has told his story. But your story has yet to be told because everybody is out there telling Natalie's story. But what does Natalie say about Natalie? You understand what I'm saying? And that's the most important thing. And then you have Christian there by your side. But at the end of the day, what's her story? What does she say about herself? And this one solidified it for me this episode because I was like I could see me going to my best friend's house and banging her fucking door down as a last ditch effort to say, girl, you making a mistake. And that's what I saw. I saw the friends that I have been friends with for 38, 40, 35, 36, 37 years. If I saw them making a mistake like that I could not stay silent. And then when he came out there, and you were like, we can't talk. And she said, he's my husband. She said that twice. What did she mean by that? He's my husband. If they weren't already married, is she talking about the little ceremony they had? Why did she say that twice? Nellie, I picked up on that.
No, I mean, I honestly can't. I really don't know why because I have not had any opportunity to find out. I do not know why she was referring to him as that. And honestly, in the heat of the moment, I didn't even realize she was saying that. All I remember is him opening the door and me being so angry that he can't even let two grown women talk to each other without putting his own opinion in. So I was just like, I felt very vulnerable in that moment myself, and I really did think that I was like hearing what she was saying, but like thinking about all the things that I was trying to say. So I didn't even catch that until I like rewatched it, until I heard you say it the other day, last night, I believe it was, or whenever you did your recap for the week. I honestly didn't even know that you said those things. So I was like, wow, it's very weird to like watch it back and then like be back in those feelings again.
Yeah, because you were like, he's not your husband. When she said it the second time, you reacted and you said, he's not your husband. And she was just standing there. She was
Right.
frozen. And I was like, what the hell is going on? You know, I just started the fold. For me, the story for a lot of these people on 90 Day Fiance is starting to unfold. And we're really starting to be able to, as 90 Day Fiance fans, who are the best fans of any show, okay, that is televised. We are invested in these characters. We research your ass. We are like the FBI, CIA. I mean, if they ever really want to solve, seriously, if they want to solve a crime, get a couple of them mofos from Reddit, get a couple of my subscribers, a couple of one box poppy subscribers, put all of them in the room, and bitch, you will find out who committed that crime in less than 24 hours. Just give us a little bit of information because we're invested in you all. And I think that one of the things that we don't like is to be tricked, bamboozled, and made to feel like we're stupid. And so we do the investigation on our own, but nobody could find out information on you because you kept your mouth shut. You didn't allow yourself to be, caught up, even though you were hurt by the words that I said and by the words that many other people said, by the blogs and the tabloids and all of that kind of stuff, exposing yourself. Christian, thank you so much for being such a wonderful man and stepping up to the plate and being there for your woman and not abandoning her, but girding her up and endorsing her and supporting her and pushing her and making her feel beautiful and wanted and needed.
Right. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And I'm at the point where I really don't. It doesn't really matter to me what's going on in the comment section. It doesn't matter to me what people think because there are always three sides to a story: his side, her side, and Natalie's side. And somewhere in between all of that is the truth. But when you do something as to put somebody's name out there and say that somebody went to the tabloids when you don't have any receipts, that's low down dirty.
Yeah, where they at? Where are those?
Yeah, I've been looking for receipts. Oh, I have been looking for receipts. I am in contact with some of these people who write this stuff, and I ain't seen the receipt yet on your ass. Natalie, I'm trying to tell you, boo, I've been in the background watching. I've been silent until this week. I've been real silent, but I've been watching, listening, looking, waiting for my opportunity to interview with you. Is there anything else that you can remember that happened on the show that you want to clear up? Anything you want to clear up?
No, I mean, I just think that it's the reverse. Everything's the reverse. Like, I'm the one that's in the healthy and happy relationship, planning my dream wedding, and it's unfortunately everything she's wanted, and it's not. Doesn't seem that she's moving towards that way. I am just over here doing what I need to do as a partner, as a mother, and as a person, and that's all I can really say. There's nothing else.
So what
I'm
happened
just
to
moving
the
forward and putting this all past me.
Oh, that's
I'm
right.
just want this to be in the past, and that's it.
That's right. And after this interview, you know what? It's in the past. You said your piece. This is the first time anybody has heard you speak about it. You said your piece, and God damn it, We can keep a relationship, talking back and forth to each other like I do to everybody else, but I will never ask you to come out here and do another interview. And I promise that I will try to look more objectively at what I am looking at as a YouTuber. It's my responsibility to do that. But trust and believe, sometimes, your auntie get off the chain, you know what I'm saying? And we react to things. What happened to the dress, the bridesmaid dress? Did they, discard it out like, yesterday's trash? Did you ever get that dress? Did you pay on that dress? Like, what happened to that dress?
Yeah, it's hanging in my closet.
So you actually was obligated to, you were actually, after you got thrown out the wedding, you were still financially obligated to pay for that damn dress.
Yep, I sure was. And I have maybe it can go to some good use at some point in time. I can donate it to some cause, but I definitely will not be using it for anything. But unfortunately, yeah, I did have to pay for it.
That's a damn shame. Prom or during prom season, they have prom promises and all kinds of stuff that are going on, and women donate prom dresses and stuff. I think that would be a wonderful way for you to give back to some girl who will need that dress. You know what I'm saying? So just, keep your eye out around prom season, like April, March and April and May, and see if you can donate it to a young lady who needs that dress. Don't, make something good, turn something good into that bad situation. Make lemonade out of that damn lemon. You understand what I'm saying? That's what you need
Oh,
to do with that
absolutely.
dress. The hell with it. So the two girls that were what was it? The 90-day live crap. Do you know them personally?
Oh, you mean her third string stand-in bridesmaid?
Go ahead and spill your shade, Natalie. Spill your shade, Natalie. That's right. You see the third string bitch. So you're not friends with them.
No. I mean, the one girl, Destiny, we've never really had any kind of conversation or any really type of interaction other than like, hey, hi, out in public and around each other. That's it. And the other girl, I did grow up with her, but she was not our friend, so I'm not really sure where she came from or how she came back into the picture. But she was not ever someone that I hung out with, and I was actually very shocked by the things that she had to say about me, because from what I saw, and the last time I did have an interaction with her was when I had a bunch of girls over to my house and for Ashley, and that was the only time. So she was like, it took me by surprise, because the last time I spoke to her, she was very thankful for having her over and all these things, and now all of a sudden I'm crazy and I'm this and I'm that, and I'm like, okay, like, who even are you, girl?
Are you serious? She was perpetrating a fraud?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's just something else.
Would you ever do this again? If asked to do this?
No. Well, I wouldn't. There is no one, other than my actual family and my soon-to-be husband, there is not one person that I trust, not after how Ashley has done me dirty. There is not one person that I trust that I could see myself putting myself back into a situation like this. No way.
How did you feel?
All the lies, and it's bad.
How did you feel? How did you feel like how did you feel about the way you were treated by the production company? Do you feel like it was fair treatment?
No, absolutely not.
And that's because
I think that they have. I just think that they have one goal in mind, and that's their viewers. That's giving them what they want, and I think that's it. That's all I really want to touch on about that. I just think that they're not in it for anyone but themselves, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
They're going to do what benefits them, and ultimately we all have a job to do, and that's there. So really, that's what it comes down to.
Without disclosing any information, are we going to see any more of you this season?
I honestly do not know. I have no idea how everything is going to play out. I mean, I continue to try to be supportive, so I'm not really sure.
So you did. So after you
I'm
drove
not
away
really
on,
sure.
so after you drove away on your scooter, you didn't. Did you film anymore after that?
Um, I'm not able to disclose that.
Okay.
I would just say you're gonna have to wait and watch and see. And I wish there was more I could tell you, but I'm not sure. I mean, the way of the event is kind of uh, I'm not exactly certain about.
Okay. Okay. Does Christian want to say anything before we wrap this interview up?
No, he actually just went over to check on the kids, so to
Okay.
make sure that they're still okay.
Okay. Anything you want? Any last words you want to leave with the viewers?
No, again, I just really hope that this, even if this only touches one more person, to understand how vicious it is to all the things that I've gone through and what I'm going through. It's hard enough. And I just really am grateful that you have taken the time to apologize to me, and I can mend that little bump in the road with you from the things that you said. And I'm just grateful that there's at least one person out there that knows the truth at this point. I'm just really um, hopeful that people can really see me for who I am and the person that I am, and have faith in knowing that about myself.
Well, I thank you so much for doing this interview. I thank you to all my nieces and nephews and all the people who are peekaboo bitches that are out here looking. You out here peeking and seeing, and I'm glad you're peeking and seeing. Thank you so much for being here. But I want to just thank you and everybody else for this interview. I think you did an excellent job. And I am hoping that you and Christian continue to live your best life with your kids. And I wish you the best. I'm hoping that maybe eventually, things between you and the old girl will work out, especially since this was not just a Natalie thing, but this was a family. Your family had invested time, energy, love, and everything in her. So I'm hoping that there's a possibility for reconciliation, because I know how that is. Been there, done that, and got the t-shirt about stuff like that. So I'm just hoping that you all live your best life. Don't forget to lock this number in and make sure you send me an invitation to your wedding. And like, I'm just wishing you all the best, Natalie. I really am wishing you and Kristen and your children the best, the very best.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And our wedding's going to be lit, so you're definitely going to want to be there.
You know what? You make sure you let me know, and I will bring myself and one of my lucky subscribers. So give me enough time to do a contest and have them come out there and join me, because they always want me to do a meet and greet. They want to meet me, they want to talk to me, and all of that kind of stuff. And I think that will be a wonderful trip to invest in and come out there and celebrate you and Christian and your family and your new life. Live your best life, Natalie, and don't worry about this stuff. I thank you so much for giving me the opportunity that you didn't give many other. I hope they hating and they jealous as hell, okay? But love you so much. Thank you
Okay,
so
girl.
much for interviewing me. Don't
Thank you.
forget to lock
God
the
bless
number
and happy
in.
holidays.
Same to you. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and all of that good stuff. I love you.
Talk to you soon. Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Mwah.
Mwah. Bye.
Bye. So there you have it. Some of you all may believe the things that she said, and some of you all may not. At the end of the day, when you have information, information gives you power, and it also gives you clarity. And I always tell you all, I don't always tell the whole story. Auntie can hold water, but she damn sure know how to spill some tea at the same time. Whatever it is that you think, you know what? Natalie has had an opportunity to tell her truth in her own words. Thank you all so much for being here. Don't forget to please like, comment, and hit that thumbs up button for your auntie. Because you ain't getting no tea like this nowhere else. Love you. Bye bye.